Maybe this is something you can relate to, but often when you have like a list of 10 things you need to do, you really should do the most difficult thing first. What's up guys? You may remember that I posted a video about speed cubing last year, about how I had spent a few months getting into speed cubing, trying to figure out how to solve this cube and get faster and faster times. But you may also have noticed that after that one video, I never posted any other content about speed cubing ever again. Why is that? Well, I'm going to try and explain that today. This is a GAN 15 and this is a GAN 12. So to bring you up to speed, if you're not familiar with the previous video, last year around August, I released a video where I had spent 3 months trying to get better at Rubik's cubing because I got super hooked from like the initial start, which was like the flat 3x1, then actually moving on to like a proper 3x3, and then discovering that there are plenty of like other cubes that are faster and have lots of more magnets in them. For me, it's just like controllers, because this channel, I mostly focus on fighting games, controllers, video game consoles, and just gear in general. I just love stuff. I just can't help myself but pick stuff up and like just really get stuck in and try to figure out how they work. The same thing happened with speed cubing. Once I discovered that there were these fast speed cubes and that there were like versions with 24 magnets or versions with 8 magnets in the core, it was really fascinating to me as a gearhead, but also because I absolutely adore puzzles. I love puzzle games. Always loved games like Tetris, and one of my favorite games of all time is called Panel de Pon. I love puzzles and I love gear, so actually this made perfect sense. Though, for this channel, which has mostly been fighting games, it may have seemed like a bit of a random departure. Although I do cover fighting games, I do consider myself more of a gearhead than just a straight up fighting gamer. Like for me, the controller is like half the point of playing the game. So to jump straight into the reason why I didn't make a follow-up video, it's simply because I wasn't sure if it really fit on this channel. One of my long-term goals has always been to like eventually go solo, like not have a day job, to just be 100% focused on making YouTube content and other things. Like I've got product ideas and stuff that I'd like to do for myself, but not like work for someone else. So I was trying to make sure that I could actually keep the channel going. And if you've spent any time working on your own YouTube channel or you watch other YouTube channels, you know that it's a mixture of, you know, your fans will watch you, but also you do rely heavily on YouTube, making sure that your content continues to be visible, because it doesn't show you the subscriptions page by default, so you have to like rely on YouTube actually delivering your video to the people who are already subscribed to you. I also watch YouTube videos, so I'm a YouTube fan of other channels, and it does kind of bother me when my favorite channels move off into something completely different. It's just like they started by playing this video game, but then they move into philosophy, and then they start moving into politics, and it's like, what is going on? What is this channel? This is not what I originally came for. It frustrates me as well to watch channels like that. So trying to empathize with the viewers of a channel like that, I wanted to make sure that the channel stayed focused on one thing. Now, the reason I actually made the Rubik's Cube video at all, like why did I make a Rubik's Cube video if it doesn't fit on the channel, is because I actually thought, what is the thing that draws all the content together on this channel? And it's probably just trying new things and getting stuck into new things, not just being about gear or games or puzzles. It's like just trying new things and the challenge of understanding them. So I really kind of saw the channel going forward as a challenge channel. I don't know, that might still happen in the future, but right now, the content that I find easiest to just continue making is testing out new controllers, because I'll never get tired of it. It's just always fun to get a new piece of hardware and go like, does this really achieve what it set out to do? I just continue to find it exciting and interesting. And that's why after my first cubing video, I just didn't make any more cubing videos, because I went back to making controller videos. But I still feel like in my heart that part of me wants to just continue down the challenge route. The question is, do I make a separate channel for doing all these random challenges, or do I make this channel about challenges and then have like a separate channel for more hardcore fighting game content? It's just really difficult to stay focused on any one thing, because that's just the kind of person I am. So content-wise, cubing stuff didn't seem to fit on the channel as videos, but the other question is, did I continue cubing? Now, after I made that video last year, I didn't stop but I definitely wasn't practicing as much as I had been for those 3 months. Like if you do anything for 3 months and you have a day job and you also have a family to take care of, it's like, it's a little bit intense. It's like, you know what, I need to just like put this thing down and move on. Not move on, like push on with things that I had been like avoiding because I had been spending so much time doing this. But when it came to Christmas, I was spending some time with my family, and there are a few people in my family who are also interested in cubing. And I like got back into it, and I was like, yeah, let's play with Rubik's cubes over Christmas holiday. And then I was like doing the algorithms. I was like, oh wow, I actually can't remember how to do the basic algorithms. And eventually I got to that point where I was like, okay, I can actually cube again. So it felt kind of satisfying. And then what happened was after Christmas, I autopiloted. And this is where it actually brings me back to fighting games, because I have this habit with almost every skill, whether it's playing guitar, drawing, writing music, or yo-yoing, or cycling, or anything. I have a lot of hobbies. And once I get to a point where I feel like, okay, I'm proficient enough that I can enjoy this without studying any further, I just autopilot. And most people have seen that, especially with my fighting game content. I go online, I play some matches, I win some, I lose some. Of course, everyone likes the idea of like getting better at something, but do I want it enough to commit all of my time to focus on just one thing? And the answer tends to be no, which is one of the main reasons why I found it difficult to actually continue getting better at the cube. I spent the past 7 months really just coasting, and that doesn't mean that I wasn't cubing. It means I was cubing constantly, like all the time, every single day. These cubes have been on my desk, and I just pick them up and I fiddle around with them, and I do the same solves that I was doing in that video I did a year ago. And for that reason, my speed when it comes to solving the cube has not really improved. Now, in that video, I was aiming for like an average of 5 under 50 seconds, and it was really tough for me. When I timed myself the other day, I think the fastest I could get was 32 seconds. And I was like, okay, that's definitely a lot faster, but it's kind of like fool's gold. I think I got lucky with the scramble that I had on that day. It's like, okay, I just happened to get a nice, easy scramble where I could get 32 seconds. In addition to, I had been probably slowly improving at the little things like the intuitive stuff, but I knew in my head I wasn't actually improving at the stuff that was going to help me actually get faster. I was just optimizing the things that was within my control as opposed to doing the challenge, which is ironic because the reason I got like into cubing at the start was because I was doing a challenge video. Maybe this is something you can relate to, but often when you have like a list of 10 things you need to do, you really should do the most difficult thing first, because the other things are easy and you'll definitely finish them. But my habit is always to go for the easy things first and then just never really get round to the difficult thing. It's like, okay, well, I did 9 easy things and now I don't really have enough time to focus on the difficult thing. What I really should have done is do the difficult thing, which is OLL and PLL algorithms for this final layer. I should have done the difficult thing and only achieved maybe 4 or 5 of the easy things. Which brings me to my current state with the cube. If you give me a cube that looks like this, I'll be able to solve it intuitively with the white cross and F2L, and then when I get to the final layer, I'm using a method which I think on the Cube Skills website, the 2 documents I have are called like 2look and 4look, and what I didn't realize is that I never actually finished learning 2look PLL. You're supposed to be able to look at the cube, do the algorithm, look at the cube, and then finish it. But what I'm doing is, I think it's called 4look PLL. So you end up with like these intermediary states where you have to like change it to get into a more easy state so that you can use one of the other like 4 or 5 algorithms. What I forgot to actually do was learn I think there's like 120, I don't remember exactly how many, but there's like 120 algorithms, and it's not that it was overwhelming, I just forgot. I actually kind of thought after I finished the video that I had learned those algorithms and that I was doing something called 2look, but I wasn't. I was just using the basic, I think it's like 10 or 15 algorithms or so. I had just learned those 15 or so, and I was just using like the 4look method. Anyway, I know it's frustrating to like look at this cube and not see a person actually solve them, so I'm just going to solve them so that I can like leave them on the table solved and not like frustrate people. I'll start with the GAN 12. I actually don't have a capacitive speed timer, so I'm just going to do this and maybe add a timer in the edit. Ready, go. Nope, that's wrong. Oh dear. I have so many questions for people who are speed cubers. I'm like, what would you do in this situation? All right, so this is where I'm at the algorithms. I get to this yellow stage where it takes me 2 different algorithms to get to the OLL stage, and then even when I get here, I have to like figure out what algorithm to do. Okay, I don't know how long that took, but it was probably something like 40 seconds, I don't know. One thing I really loved from getting into speedcubing is the whole concept of like doing the solve and then like throwing the cube on the table. I mean, I know you're not supposed to like throw it. I'm gonna solve this GAN 15 as well. I wasn't sure about this cube. I didn't use it very much in the video because I wasn't getting along with it. I got the 12 and it was like perfect. I've been experimenting more with this GAN 15 and now I've reached this point where I actually prefer the GAN 15 to the GAN 12. It is kind of loose at the moment, so I think I still need a little bit of tweaking. Anyway, let's time this solve. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Where is the orange piece? Can't remember. Oh man, this is not going well. All right, this is the stage where it takes me like 2 different algorithms just to get to this stage, and then I use this algorithm which is not super efficient because it just brings me here. But then I get to do my favorite algorithm. I don't even know which one that was, but that's my favorite one. So essentially that's where I'm at with cubing. I can't be 100% sure. I can't really guarantee that cubing content will continue on this channel. But with regards to whether I continue to actually improve at cubing, that's basically the story. Yes, I've been kind of improving slowly, but I haven't been making the important improvements. Really, I've just been optimizing on the stuff that I've already figured out. But what I really need to do is actually open up the book and do the studying. I need to actually learn those algorithms because I just genuinely never looked them up. I just thought, yeah, I've got enough algorithms to solve the cube. Why would I look up any more? But there's about 100 algorithms out there, and I'm pretty confident that I can learn them. Now that I've actually remembered that I didn't learn, I just honestly thought I had already learned them. And then when I opened up the PDF document again, I was like, oh yeah, no, I actually haven't learned these at all. I also am very interested in picking up a GAN 16, although I'm very happy with the way that the GAN 15 is now working for me to the point that I actually prefer it. Oops. I'm really happy with the GAN 15 now, but now that the 16 has come out and I've seen that it's got some adjustments to it that make it look like it might be a little more stable than the GAN 15. The thing about the 15 is it does feel like I've just got a collection of like 100 pieces of plastic that are all just kind of hovering close together, but they're not actually part of the same mechanical cube. What I learned from watching cube reviews is that unfortunately, there is just no replacement for picking one up and actually making deciding for yourself, or especially with lubricants as well. You just have to like get some, try them, and then decide whether you like it. Because like, no matter how many videos I watched, eventually when I got the cube in my hands, I was like, this feels absolutely nothing like they said. Now, of course, they're experts, most of these people, so they've been doing this for years and they have a lot of experience. But the one major difference for me is that, actually I don't have it in front of me now, but this is the RS, this is going to stress you out that this is not solved either. This is an RS3M dual adjustment. There's also one with magnets, like a magnet maglev ball core. My personality likes the idea of just like, I just start the turn and I just want the cube to finish the turn for me. After I had tried the RS3M and liked it, moved on to the ball core version, and I could not find any settings that made it feel like it was fun to turn without being like hard work for my fingers. I felt like I was really pushing this cube to like make it turn around, and when I made it too loose, it was like, okay, now it feels nice, but then the whole cube just feels like it's gonna fall apart in my hands, like it had lost that stability. For me, balance wise, I actually preferred what I had got with the GAN 12. Ideally, I'd like to not touch the cube at all. I'd like to make a decision. Like, I'd like it to turn on the top once, I'd like it to turn on the right once, and I'd like, you can see, like, I just make the decision, give it a little tap, and it does the work for me. I don't know if that's actually the optimal method for these things, but that's another topic for another time. Just wanted to show you that, yes, I have been cubing. I haven't really made as much progress as you might expect for a person who's been cubing for this long, like after a year or so of doing it. I do apologize that after that cubing video, just never made another cubing video again. And again, I don't know if it fits on this channel, so if I do make a follow-up about whether I got to sub 20, maybe it'll just be a post on X, Twitter, or maybe it'll be like a post on Instagram. It might not even be here on this YouTube channel, but just letting you know that I did continue. And actually, this is one of the things that I do most consistently every day, is just like pick up my cube and just fiddle with it. I game, I play music, I write music, I draw, I go cycling. I have so many hobbies, but nothing has really stuck with me and kept me as hooked as this consistently over the year. It's just a shame that I didn't actually practice in the right way to actually make a lot more progress. But I'm also not in a rush. I'm not like trying to like reach a certain world record by next May or something. It's like, this is just something, it's just a skill I want to have for the rest of my life. So as long as I can, before I retire, get to a point where I'm like a little bit faster than I am today, then I'll be happy. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Just wanted to update you on my progress and what's going on with cubing content on this channel and whether I'm going to continue making any in the future. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been NihongoGamer. I'll see you real soon.